I never do this anymore. People often admire my unwavering capability of butt-fucking everything and making it seem so blatantly obvious that you could scream no longer at me for the proverbial dick-chokingly overpowered things I talk about. Let's take, for example, the aforementioned dick-chokingly overpowered things Riot Games are pouring out. Now, I speak of League of Legends, that game that keeps me from constantly masturbating over hentai and finding various things to kill everything in other games such as Prototype, with the recent release of Hecarim, the Shadow of War, or my affectionate name, my little OP as fuck rape train without brakes, with the brakes taped on the front of him with 50-foot long spikes that can pierce everything short of my mother's irritating optimism. I found it beautiful that the champion instantly made me go Sleepy Hollow, because I've been watching now wondering when Christina Ricci was so fucking adorable for the last week, and his joke is even more beautiful as this brony found his ears teased by a love bondage-bound lolly with the line, "Suffering is magic." Now forgive me for this, but were Riot trying to make something even more brain-meltingly overpowered or null skill-requiring champion than Nocturne, my old main, whose voice still gives me multiple orgasms, and his ultimate makes everything shit bricks, and considering that he can tower dive everything regardless of his health, what could be worse? The answer is Hecarim. His abilities at first glance seem total rubbish because his Q is an insta-charging group raping thing that you don't realise will be what kills everything apart from your E, which is a rape train that makes Hecarim so fucking insane. No brakes is hardly mentioned, as the brakes are carefully removed the second you decide to press E, when he suddenly becomes super fast and can insta-kill everything when you find him recalling or wanking in front of Baron while waiting for his team. Remember I mentioned Nocturne as ulti, right? Yeah, that OP as fuck insta-dash of Tower Diver's wet dreams. Forget that R and think about this R. This one fears everything in a radius and does well over 1,500 damage if you're like me and plays an ability, power, attack, damage, attack, speed, armor, penetration, fuck ton of damage in a nutshell, pretty much Hecarim. Also makes them run behind you most of the time, so you can either send them away from their fuck buddy turret or towards a syphilis-positive turret fuck buddy you happened to pay too little when they tried to kill you earlier, and you paid them back by tossing them a back scratch and little molecular acid and wondering on the fucking outcome. His speed is insane too. It's like someone gave the standard Cho'Gath build steroids, Sharko's deceive happening constantly whenever you attack something because Hecarim does more damage the faster he goes, so don't fucking bother going as a tank because you'll kill everything before they hit you. Also, it seems that whenever you press WE or RWE at the same fucking time, the entire team surrenders, because when I did that last, I got an instant pentakill, and everyone asked me how I did it. The answer: throw a fucking tantrum and smash your keyboard until the entire game reacts like Korn to Slanesh and marry a Shido, my future husband, wife, whatever. That's how to play Hecarim. Not saying this was a bad move on Riot's path, as it fucking wasn't, but what I want to know is what will happen to him later. The nerfs are calling and I regret it. It's really sad when they nerf something I love. Mundo, for example. I remember killing everybody when they're actually pressing W and R and then Q and then E while chasing the entire fucking team with more HP than Cho'Gath would have a wank rag set upon. I haven't really put on his role yet, have I? Let's see, he's a fighter or a bruiser. Can't really tank till you hit 16, and that's when you survive everything ever made by Riot. That includes another Hecarim and Nocturne. He could be a mage, but then you're fucking stupid. He also works as an assassin, which is how I play him, because whenever I touch a champion, according to Sean Angel, Avid Soul Reaver, I turn them into a scary rape fest and make Freddy Krueger, the Cheshire Cat, and the Mad Hatter look normal. Now, for all my ranting on how I'm so great at the game, I really aren't. I found myself walking into a gank about 5 times today, but the only reason was because sometimes it gets boring living constantly. Unless you play Vega and went for an attack speed, you fucking cunts. That reminds me, the first time I played this Horseman of Rape, I found Nautilus, who I also main, with an attack speed build. I'm not sure why they fucking went for that, because it doesn't recharge Staggering Blow any faster or make him any useful. Unless you play like me and have so much AP with him at the end that his W is the only way not to come unrelentingly over your screen about how they can't even fucking run from you. Overall, I give Hecarim a 9, because I can't find a better champion at the moment besides Nocturne, who is solely the only thing that can actually match him for fucking rape trollery in this game of fucking rape trollery is a singularity.